Good morning, everyone. And it is a good morning because I can see, usually when I come out, I'm only come out just to do a quick warm-up. So we know people come in late, so I'm taking up some of the time while people can come in here. But there are more people in here right now than we usually have when I come out. And there's more people coming in. So that's always a good sign. The lights are a little bit different this morning. That's okay. Is there anybody here from another unity? We like to acknowledge it. Raise your hand high if you're from another unity. Okay. Is there anybody here for the first time? If you're here for the first time, raise your hand high. We have a gift for you. Okay. Is there anybody here for the last time? I can't take it anymore. I can't handle this truth. All right, well, it's always good to have you. Thank you for showing up. Look forward to this talk that Syntysche is going to give.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Welcome everyone who's here in house, everyone who's joining us online. We love spending time with you each week, so thank you very much for the opportunity to do so. We've got a few things coming up here in this building. Starting next Sunday, we're going to have our annual Children's Halloween party, and that's from 5 to 7. It's free. You don't have to sign up for it. All children are invited to come in costume and hang out. We've got all kinds of games and mazes and candy and just all-around fun. Our YOU-aged congregation downstairs, that's our high school-aged congregation, they are going to be putting on, as usual, a very haunted house down in our assembly room downstairs. So it gets better every year, so definitely if you know anyone who has kids and are looking for something fun and free to do with them on Halloween, or actually not on Halloween, but Halloween season this next Sunday, bring them on in here at 5 o'clock next week. But we are still looking for volunteers to run any of our booths or games. And if you're looking to volunteer for something, it's such a fun event. I have so much fun at it every year with all the kids running around their cute costumes. So you can sign up for that in the lobby. Next month, on Thanksgiving, we are going to be having our annual Thanksgiving meal over here in Fellowship Hall. That is also free. Everyone's invited to attend. If you know anyone who's looking for a holiday Thanksgiving event and wants to go have it with a big, huge, wonderful group, all you have to do is show up here at noon. If you can bring a dish, if you have something, or you can just show up. We also need volunteers for that as well. We do have we've got a great person leading it, but we do need extra volunteers for all the various tasks of preparing food, setting up the tables and room and everything. You can sign up for that in the lobby. Today, Syntysche will be speaking. And she will follow her service by having a circle talk group back there at the back of the sanctuary following it. And next week, between the 9 a.m. and the 11 a.m. service at 10:30, she will be doing her visioning prayer group that everyone's invited to. That's down in the meditation room led by Syntysche. And next week, she'll be doing her Power of 8 group again right here following her service. Also, real quick, I just wanted to say we've got a few new faces up here in our band. We all know our bassist, Sam. He's been a regular face. Yes, Sam. But over here, slamming it down on the keys, we got Bonnie. Welcome, Bonnie. And over here, adding a little bit of flair on the set is Carter. Say what's up to Carter. These guys are doing awesome, so just want to say what's up.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie, and I'm here to read the Daily Word. Today, the Daily Word is about forgiveness. Forgiveness is my path to peace. Occasionally, I may decide a transgression or mistake is simply unforgivable. However, when I maintain a spiritual perspective, I realize forgiveness is key to moving on from painful interactions and is an important part of my spiritual path. Releasing unforgiveness may be one of the hardest things I will do, but I trust there will be peace in my heart and clarity in my mind when I do it. Whether I struggle to forgive another or myself, I trust there is no judgment or condemnation in spirit. Whatever the error, the divine presence within can help me transcend it. There is no pain, no hurt that is greater or more enduring than God. This is the comfort and promise that helps me forgive and know lasting peace. And from Luke 6:37, do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. And then all together, let's read the affirmation for the Unity of Boulder. Unity of Boulder is a radiating center of the Christ light within us, mighty to attract its good and to radiate good to others. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity. My mic's making a sound. I keep having this happen. It's like sound check and everything, and then it goes, okay, I think it's better. All right, this is the moment in our service where it's a call for prayer. I think it's all of the energy around me. It's picking up all the spiritual energy. So this is the moment in our service where it's a call for prayer for us to become channels of blessings, of healing, for the homeostasis in mind, body, and spirit, for others, for this world, for this planet. We have pieces of paper in front of you that you can write people's names down. And this is just a time of aligning with this powerful energy of this oneness and recognize what lives within us, that we can extend spiritual energy to others and hold a space of gratitude for their healthfulness, their wholeness, and their happiness. And we can also pray for ourselves in this moment. We can write our own names down. And the universe doesn't need to know what the issue is, because the universe already knows. It's really just us stepping in and recognizing that we have this deep, beautiful power within us to express kindness for others. And this is Steve Sheets. He will come down and collect the names and put them in our prayer box, and they'll be prayed over for 30 days here at Unity Boulder, and then they'll be sent to Silent Unity and prayed over for another 30 days. We like to sing this song to come into the presence of the room. They say to sing is to pray twice. You can't think about your problems when you're singing, so we ask you to join us. Leave the world outside these doors and gift yourself this next hour or so. And this is Norma, my mom. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you. Now you know it. Join us. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. And I'm grateful So it is. Now we're going to invite our entertainment club up to sing our opening song, and you can all stand and sing along. You all know this number. And turn and meet one another and get each other's names. Yeah.
And now pat yourself on the back and say, "Thank you, God, for me." Thank you, God, for me. I'd like to welcome to our stage, for the first time ever, today's musical guest over here. We have Andy Babb and Laura L. And they are inspirational songwriters from the mountains of Colorado, and their acoustic folk rock is laced with heart-opening harmonies, resonant lyrics, and unforgettable melodies. Their intention is to unify people with their loving musical vibrations, and they curate musical experiences that guide listeners back to their heart centers and help us feel our emotions in a healthy way. Welcome to our stage. Thank you for joining us. Take it away.
Thank you so much.
Settle down, it'll all be clear, and the answers that you long to hear will be ringing in your ear. Take a little time, let yourself unwind, release and you will find it was in you the whole time. You gotta take it day by day, one step at a time. Let love guide your way, and hope fuel your mind. And when the path goes out beneath your feet, trust and you will find that your heart knows the way the whole time. Yeah, your heart knows the way the whole time. When you let it shine, when you let it shine, you gotta let it shine. When you let it shine.
Something that happened to me, I found me. Something that happened to me, I found me. Something that happened to me, I found me. Something that happened to me, I found me.
Settle down, it'll all be fine. Nothing's ever quite as bad as you fear it in your mind. Take a big long breath, gaze up at the sky, find some new direction, give it another try. You gotta take it day by day, one step at a time. Let love guide your way, and hope fuel your mind. When the path goes out beneath your feet, trust and you will find that your heart knows the way the whole time. Yeah, your heart knows the way the whole time. When you let it shine, when you let it shine, you gotta let it shine. When you let your heart shine. that you long to hear will be ringing in your ears.
Thank you. Really beautiful way to start. Really appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all here today. So, wonderful music. Wow, that was just awesome. Glad to have you here. It's nice to have some new music, and we have such great music in this center. So I've been, I'm always observing life to get an idea of what the topic is of the week. And my senior year daughter, she's in her senior year of high school, and she's under the pressures of being in AP classes and doing a capstone project with SCLA, and she's just a high overachiever and wanting just to be the best that she can be, and she's taking on more and more things than she can handle, but doesn't know how to release some of it to be able to find life and school balance. So I've had, evenings where I ask her how she is, and it's hours of me sitting with her working on getting back to center and getting out of almost like anxiety attacks over, all that she wants to achieve. And this is not from me being a mother that's been a real pressure cooker of a mother. If anything, I'm a pretty lax mother and never really cared about their grades because I feel self-expression in many different directions. And for me, I'm an artist, so I never got good grades. So I have low standards for my children. I was always the wild kid in high school because I couldn't really memorize anything. I'm sure I just had some sort of neurodivergent thing in my brain when I was younger. I don't anymore, but so to have this child that's so self-determined that she wants to get into the best colleges and apply into the colleges, and seeing her melting down over the pressures that's not even from the outer world but from her own inner world, it's concerning for me because I feel like so many of us go out into life, and this is like supposed to be the fun years, senior year in high school, going to college. These are the times that you're supposed to play and you're individualized and you don't have the burdens of marriage. And sure, not that they're burdens, but you're not adulting yet. And I don't want her to adult before she has to adult, because adulting, as fun as it all is, I want her to play. I want her to adventure. I'd like her to take a gap year. I'd like her to go travel. I'd like her to go see the world and really make sure that what she's applying to school and what her major is really what she wants to do versus what she's seen her friends really want to do, and kind of discover life and the world and different cultures and music and plays and, But we can, you say something? There's something, this won't sit on my ear. I think my ear must have changed shape through the night because it's not sitting on my ear today. All right. Oh, anyway. So that's kind of what this talk is about. Kind of everywhere we look right now, we're reminded that these can feel like uncertain times. And I think that my daughter's very, intuitive and can actually feel that sense of uncertainty. And so she's trying to control all the things she can control, to try to get away from the feeling place of the not knowing what's next, what's being called for what's next. And I think we can all relate with that, a changing world, and a changing world that we all karmically probably chose to be here for. We didn't come in as young souls, we came in as old souls, ready to be the divine change in consciousness, in deliverance, in our ability to grow our own and then share it with others, to be allies for those who are experiencing suffering in this country right now, and standing up and saying, these are our sisters and brothers, and we will walk with them to feel so identified as a loved child as all of us are equally. Because in unity, we honor the oneness in everybody, regardless of their race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Everybody gets to be fully expressed the way God made them as. And we don't see anything as broken because we want to be fully expressed. I want to be fully expressed. I want to be as quirky and weird as I am. And I don't necessarily mean accept it, just don't be mean to me about it. You know? So I'd like my daughter to find that quirky, silly self and realize that all of this is fleeting. All this college stuff, you think that this is the end-all, be-all. But your soul's unfoldment is actually the end-all, be-all. And that all begins when we step out away from the nest of parents, step into the world, and see the people that in a current come into your lives and recognize that everything is in divine order in some way, shape, or form. The good, the difficult, the overcoming, the loss, all of the pieces of life that helps us expand out of the comfort zone and recognize the one part of us that never dies. The part of us that has traveled so many lifetimes that we can remember more and more of ourselves in development and bring that forward at this time. Because there is no possibility that we aren't all sitting here in this one moment. Everything has this wonderful divine order and this divine current, and it's called love. To feel love, to be in love with our lives, even though we see all this opposition in the world. So the spiritual truth tells us a different story about this time of uncertainty, because at the core of it, there's this prosperity consciousness, which is a balance holder, which means that we feel well, we have healthy bodies, we have healthy minds, we have really developed intuition, we have enough money to cover our bills and to take care of others. But prosperity consciousness says that it has nothing to do with the economy or who's leading a country or any of the oppositions, or if you're for it or not, that's fine. Everybody has the right to believe in whatever they believe here. That's what's so wonderful. But the flow of divine substance, the inexhaustible, omnipresent source of all good, has not changed, slowed, or diminished. What charges is our awareness of this divine substance. Let's just take a breath with that. The divine substance, to recognize that there's this ethereal something that you can't necessarily touch and you can't necessarily taste, but it has a vibration. And when it takes hold of us, it's palpable. It's awakening, it's alivening, it's a remembering, it's of a place and an energy that we are of and from. And when we meditate, and when we take the time out to really be in nature, to walk on our Mother Earth that supports us so beautifully, to listen and watch the birds, to watch for the signs and symbols of deer crossing our paths and crows, and what is the animal saying to us. You know, going back to our more ancestral, that more community-leveled, like indigenous way of some culture that we come from, to remember that the universe is communicating with us all the time. All the time. When we get out of our own way and we get rid of the blocks that we hold between us and this universal energy we call Source, Spirit, God, Mother Earth, whatever word makes you feel divinely connected and a part of this oneness, this omnipresence, this connectedness. So in the book of Philippians, Paul says, "My God will supply every need of yours according to his riches." God is a ceaseless flow of substance, and no matter what the extent of the need, Universal substance can easily supply it. But there is one thing the universe cannot do. The universe cannot supply lack. The universe cannot supply in an anxious place. The universe cannot supply when we are overly thinking and trying to figure out with the intellect everything that we need to figure out versus being in the within the spaciousness, in the flow, and in the movement of life. Being in a place of wonder when we don't have it all figured out, and being comfortable in the wonder. I wonder. That is such a special place to be. Instead of feeling like we are out of control, which is what the intellect wants us to think, it's, oh, I'm kind of in between knowing. And when we can get comfortable in that place and live in a state of wonder, then you'll start to see the things starting falling in place. And it's like, thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Mother Earth. When we start being divinely directed of what is next for this current in my life, right? So the results depend upon your faith, persistence, and acceptance. Accept that now is your time to prosper in whatever way you're feeling that sense of lack. If you're facing an illness right now, or you're facing challenge in a relationship right now, or you're facing some sort of discord within your own belief system, and all of a sudden things are feeling fragmented because something has awakened in you, and now your old story and your old thoughts and your old limitations about who you were within this other story, if that story leaves, we're in a state of unknown and then not knowing. And I wonder who's being birthed into this moment. So therefore, in faith, you will boldly take steps in establishing yourself in the more abundant life the universe intends for you. And patience, persist in your quest, assures you of success. So prosperity can mean different things to different people, and it's very much dependent on how we are actively participating and approaching things in our lives. Some might see it as a sense of relief, a settling of things that once were really concerning you, something that had been on your heart for a long time, like a debt owed, or a lingering illness, or a worry about your job, or a sense of a lack of stability, or a concern for one of your children or your marriage, or just the need to be able to stay on top of your bills. Or all of the above could be happening, right? I think one of mine in my life is a work-life balance. That's been the biggest challenge for me in the last 5 years, is maintaining, filling up my cup with the things that I love, like dancing and singing, taking the time to be with friends on walks in nature, and getting a little more out of my comfort zone and trying new things. You know, as you get older, you get kind of set in your ways, and you just kind of go through it, and it's like blinders have kind of appeared when you know of yourself as that wild stallion you used to be that was just reckless and playful and fun, and, you know, it was like mischievous to all costs. I mean, that was who I was, you know. That's when, so to have this little sophisticated daughter, it's like, where did you come from? My mom used to say, I can't wait till, you know, the apple falls from your tree and you have to go through this, when I was a teenager, and none of my kids have done this to me. Karma. It's a bummer for her, right? But I think it's because I was so wild that I held a spaciousness for them to be wild, and they never needed to do it. They had nothing to rebel against, which I did have something to rebel against. A mother that was very wound up tight, like the daughter I have now. She'll probably be a big disciplinarian or something with her children. I mean, it's just strange, right? And it's all fun because it just holds us in this state of wonder. What is it all about? You know, why are we here? So the work-life balance, the play balance. So I heard a friend of mine say recently, I feel really good in my life when I have something in the books, like a trip on the books, like knowing that's there, makes all of the other things bearable. And I felt like, wow, that's really putting off your good to tomorrow, than creating a life that is great every day. I mean, we have our hard moments, but every day should be that's something that is in that trip that you think is so wonderful and great. What are you bringing into your day-to-day that you feel that kind of awe and wonder and playfulness, right? So the metaphysical meaning of prosperity. The difference between spiritual prosperity and the material idea of prosperity is that spiritual prosperity is founded on understanding of the inexhaustible, omnipresent substance of spirit as the source of supply. The material idea is that the possession of things constitutes prosperity. There's another slide to that, isn't there? Huh. I have that typed, hold on. In New Thought, prosperity is not measured by what we have, but by what we realize. True prosperity begins with the awareness that we live in a universe of unlimited supply. This was written by Charles Fillmore, our co-founder of Unity as a movement. The divine supply, this is not a faraway storehouse of things, but the living energy of God that flows through all creation. When we understand this, we shift from a consciousness of lack and effort to one of trust and alignment. I'm going to read that again. We shift from a consciousness of lack and effort to one of trust and alignment. We no longer chase after things. Instead, we align our thought and feeling with the truth that all supply already exists in spirit, and that it flows through us as ideas, opportunities, and right action. It flows through us through ideas. So it's in the idea, it's the planting of the seed of something that turns you on, lights you up, gets you excited. It's that idea planted in the heart and walking underneath that with a knowing that the supply will support that which any instinct, any intuition, something that's bubbled up in you, and you're like, you know what? I'm ready to step out of my comfort zone and really plant this idea and see it coming into fruition and holding it in my mind's eye of how that outcome would be and being in a state of gratitude that all that good has come our way, and then releasing it and knowing that it's in the firmament. The universe understands what we really want. When we really know what it is we would like to manifest in our life, and we can hold a prayerful place about it and not be in a, like we didn't manifest it because it's based on something that's the opposite, like fear or lack, but we manifest it from a I wonder and I am worthy. And putting that out to the universe and allowing it to be taken hold by this divine substance that is endless, and letting go of any fear or worry about how we're going to make it come about, because you just keep walking towards it and the universe will figure that out with you. That's faith. We don't just have these beautiful, amazing ideas for ourselves for us to just keep letting them go and not letting them take hold in our lives and to live a life that we could only dream of. So the material view says, I'll feel prosperous when I get what I want. The spiritual view says, I am prosperous now because I live in the presence of an abundant universe. This last week, I was dealing with my daughter, and how do I get these concepts to take hold of her? She'd say things like, you don't know what it's like to go through this. And I've been through a lot in my life. And so with a 17, almost 18-year-old, you know you don't bite when they say something like that, because that starts a nice little bicker session. I'd say to her, then tell me more about it. What do I not know about this anxiety you're feeling, about all these pressures you've put on yourself? Tell me more about that. I want to know more. Well, it makes me want to cry. And I'm like, okay, well, let's cry. Allow the spaciousness for you to shed what it feels like to try to be superhuman instead of just being a perfect child of God. That's allowed to make mistakes, and if anything, you're going to learn more from those mistakes than all your planning to keep yourself safe from hurting. Let's feel what it feels like to be this trapped in the intellect, right? And then once you got the tears out, I was like, let's do some brain gyms. Like when you're like in one of those places where your right brain has turned off because there's trauma, there's some sort of brokenness in us, and it turns off, we have to get it back on guard to be working evenly so we can get back to the place where we can listen to our heart and our intuition. So I would tell her to put her foot like across your feet. And this is a brain gym exercise, and you go like this and you breathe in. Let's do this together. You can do it sitting. I do this all the time at my desk. So these are good exercises to come back to opening up to the divine. And you just breathe in. And again. Now you're going to uncross, and you're going to do it the other way. It's a little harder standing in heels doing it. Here we go. And in. Now unravel and take a check-in. Do you feel that centeredness? There's many, many other exercises like that, but we, in this more tumultuous world, we're being asked to go back to the basics where we can keep the brain out of fight or flight and stay within the creative. When we lose the right side of our brain, the creative leaves us, and it's actually the creative that actually is the neural pathway to moving through the stuck energy. So we have to keep them in communication to really hear our intuition. So when we're sad or we're angry or we're fearful or we feel limited or we feel our good has left us and it's all behind us or we're in a breakup, whatever, these are wonderful, wonderful exercises to bring us back online spiritually. There's an innocuous phrase used often in the Bible, and it goes like this. It came to pass. It came to pass. It has a subtle inference that can be extremely meaningful to you. The problem or financial reversal did not come into your life to stay. It came to pass. Whatever the challenge, refuse to be panic-stricken. Life hasn't ended for you. If it flows on in a healing and prosperous stream. In the face of any challenge, we affirm, I accept the reality of this situation, but not its permanence. Let's take a deep breath out, right? Because that's what all of these young people are feeling, and all of us are feeling with this anxiety text. Anxiety is a very big problem, and it's an epidemic right now. And so why do we think people go to alcohol and drugs and numbers to not feel? Because the feeling is that there's a permanence to the difficulty of the world right now. And when you recognize that you can do these exercises and bring yourself back online with spirit, I accept the reality of the situation, but not its permanence. These kind of affirmations, this is what our youth department teaches these young people. Right now, we have 18 to 25-year-olds downstairs setting up this massive haunted house. They were just backstage grabbing ladders and everything, and they just look so filled with love. They can't wait to do this awesome experience for the little kids that they got to experience when they were kids. They want to play still. They want to have community. They want to connect, and they want to be reminded that they can have the difficult things, but it's not permanent. And they have a spiritual center they can come home to remember that in. So the experience is there to be met. There is no use hiding your head in the sand. However, determine to meet it on your terms. Don't let the outer happening squeeze you into its box, but open your mind to the flow of wisdom and love and good judgment with which you can deal masterfully with it. It has come to pass. Let's say it together. It has come to pass. That's a great thing that we could put in our car or on our desk at work where things can get stressful, or in our bathroom when we're getting ready. When we're sitting there unconsciously and even subconsciously just going through the rigmarole of all the stresses, and we're just living in this place in this panic, it's like, oh, this has come to pass. My ear just started ringing massively, so the universe really likes what I'm sharing right now. Do you believe in that stuff? That our spirit guides are communicating with us? Like, every once in a while that happens up here, and it happens in my life, but when it's just like that, like it's so loud, the universe is like, yes, 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 yes. That's true, right? It's affirmation that we can find and create peace in the midst of the storm. We can become less firm in our heels being in and become more adaptable to moving through life. Like the bamboo tree that goes like this, and it doesn't break, but you just are willing to not be stuck in the way things used to be, so you keep trying to create the way things used to be, and all of us are finding that we can't do it the way it used to be, and recognize that we have to find where it's new and it's open and the doors are roaring and pulling us towards all of our goodness. And be willing for that miracle to show the way. But our intellect gets us stuck thinking we gotta figure this out in our mind. And so many of us are walking around in a state of stress and lack of peace. And we're wondering, what is this all about? Why am I here? What was I put here to do and be? So what would it look like for you to face your current challenge with calm awareness instead of panic? To meet it on your terms rather than letting it define you? Because nobody's keeping score but you. And if you haven't manifested soon enough, or you haven't healed that grief soon enough, or you haven't healed your marriage soon enough, or you haven't gotten a relationship healed with your kid soon enough, what if we can release all of those rules we put around ourselves and recognize that all of this not knowing is also a teacher? The moment we can really face what it's bringing up for us, because there's something underneath it that's an undoing of a part of ourselves that no longer serves us, so that we may be born anew. It's many deaths and resurrections. Deaths and resurrections. This happens to us women. It tends to be almost every 5 years. Men, it might be a little longer. But there's no judgment here. We're just merely observing. It's a process of letting go. We come here with karmic stuff, and we learn to let it go, and then we grow and we birth into more and more of the masterpiece that we are. So I'm going to go into meditation in a few minutes, but I wanted to talk about Diane Keaton, who passed away this last week. An actress that was so, when you just watch her, when they're just capturing her in a restaurant or at a store or whatever, there was a kindness and an authenticity to her. You could tell that there was nothing, she was an actress, and she could play many characters. But when you watched her be interviewed, and I would really encourage you to look at some of the interviews, she was so unapologetically her. She wore her wonderful ways of dress, which was really stylish, and the way she treated people that were interviewing her, you felt like she was beneath them, that she wasn't the big actress, that she always kind of lessened herself to make it comfortable with the people she was talking to, because there was just such a raw heart of a being. And she would even say, they'd say, well, you're such a good actress, and you've gotten, she got an Oscar. I think she got an Oscar. But she'd say, I just got lucky. She never ever could see the skill at which she carried in this quirky character that all of us could relate with, even men. The authenticity of being so fully unapologetically you is really, really attractive in this world. And people want to work around that. People want to be around that. That's an energy we want, because people that are vulnerable, authentic, and gorgeous are people that are sharing love. God. They don't see themselves separate from other. They are a part of you, and you are a part of them. And no matter how wealthy or how famous this person became, she didn't even want to bother any of us to know that she was sick. She wanted to leave with just grace. And nobody's worrying and sending any energy. She was here, and then she was gone. But it's fun to kind of look back on her movies and just see this kind of consistent character that she was, which was just authentically a beautiful human being. And if you see how people talk about her on what she was like to work around, she was very special, just as we all are. And it's a good reminder that us being authentically us and discovering who that is the key to having a beautiful life, because you'll listen to your heart, and you'll do what's appropriate, and you'll do what you're called to do, and you will step in every day and be allowed to be so freely the gorgeousness that God made you as. And every one of you in your uniqueness is needed now. It's being called now to unite in this beauty and this love, for us to collectively be the change we need to see for the world and for this beautiful planet that we live on. So I'm going to take you into meditation just for us to kind of bring this all in and bring it into the cells of our being, that we may take this forth in our week. And let us be blessed to remember, who doesn't love that person that's so unapologetically them? And what is holding any of us back from allowing that quirky, beautiful human being to be seen, to be loved, to be heard, and that we may bring that back to those who can appreciate that kind of honesty and authenticity. So let's take a deep breath in and let it out gently. Allow your breath to bring you fully into this present moment, into this holy now, where every need is met in the quiet flow of divine life. So let's bring to mind something on your heart today, perhaps an area that feels tender or uncertain. Something that's asking for healing, flow, or peace. Now gently turn your awareness to your body, this sacred vessel that carries your soul. Feel the life source moving through you in every cell, every heartbeat, filled with intelligence and vitality. Whisper softly within yourself, I expect wholeness in my body. I am strong, radiant, and whole. Now bring to mind your relationships. Anyone with whom love feels distant or communication strained. Visualize a soft light of understanding and forgiveness flowing between you. And affirm this: I expect harmony in my relationships. Love is healing every space where separation once was. Now turn your attention now to your finances, not with fear, but with faith. See the flow of divine substance, abundant, ever present, circulating through your life. and affirm, my financial income cannot be limited now. The rich substance of the universe frees me from all limitation. I release and I trust. I let go and I grow. Now bring to mind your purpose, the work your soul came here to do. Even if the path feels unclear, know that it is unfolding in perfect order. Divine order is established and maintained in me and in my world. And now rest your awareness in your heart and mind. Let the noise of the world grow quiet as you breathe into peace. And now one of the greatest statements to bring the beauty into our lives is the words, thank you. And I'm going to say thank you, and you're going to fill it in with all of the beauty and the things that are so wonderful in your life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm aligned with Source. The energy of life moves through me as faith, as love, as abundance. I am one with the divine substance, and I prosper in all ways. And I am so very grateful, Spirit. Amen. So we'll take an offering for unity now. And as we prepare to give, let's take a moment to remember the spiritual law of circulation. The divine substance is always moving, always flowing, and that we live in the midst of an inexhaustible source of supply. At Unity Boulder, we are stepping into a new expression of that truth through a recurring tithing campaign, an invitation to give from the awareness of this opulent source rather than obligation or routine. Recurring tithing is a conscious way of saying, this ministry feeds me spiritually, and I choose to support it with love and consistency, even when I'm not physically there. Because we know Boulder has so many wonderful things to do on Sundays, biking and hiking, and yet this place still operates in the world, and we have to cover those operating expenses. So we ask you, if you feel that this place is helping your life, to recurring tithe each Sunday, to budget that in your life. We would really, really appreciate that. And those of you that are watching us online, maybe try this or just even tithing today. We'd be very grateful that you join us in taking care of this beautiful center right here in the middle of Boulder, Colorado. So these are all the different ways that you can tithe. You can go to the unityboulder.com and go to the home screen and hit support our mission, and you can do the recurring tithing donation right there, just having it come out each week or each month or whatever. Or you can do checks or cash here. And we're going to take our offerings in our hands and bless it with this offering statement. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And what was your names again? Aiden? Andy. Okay, let's welcome back Andy and Laura back to the stage. Thank you.
See, it's your story that you get to choose. So you send up a prayer for the truth. And your mind starts to wander and fear starts to grow. You have no place to run to and no home to go. And you feel it, and it grows, a gentle reminder inside your soul. There's so much to love, so much to give, so much to live for, so much is here.
So another day goes by. Questions of what, where, and why. I know some part of me must die if I'm to raise up and fly. And my mind starts to wander and hope starts to grow. I've got deep peace inside me and an eternal home, and I feel it, and it grows, gentle reminder inside my soul. There's so much to love, so much to give, so much to live for, so much is here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Keep going. So much to love, so much to give, so much to live for, so much is here. There's so much to love, so much to give, so much to live for, so much is here. There's so much to love, so much to give, so much to live for, so much is here. There's so much to love. There's so much to give. Oh, 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 oh.
I have chills all over. That was an awesome song. Both of those songs were great. That was so appropriate and amazing. Thank you so much. I hope we'll see you back sometime soon. All right, well, we have prayer partners available to you if you have a need for prayer today. And you can just stay seated in your seat, and they'll come find you and take you to our beautiful meditation room and pray with you after the service. We have a potluck after the service, so we have food and coffee and tea and drinks. So just come join us, or you can run out and grab something to share. But we have plenty of food if you just want to stay and we can all have lunch together.
No potluck today. I don't think so. No potluck.
There's no potluck? Who's telling us that there's a potluck? Okay, good. Don't do that. We have food in there anyway, so go help yourself to food, coffee, and tea. All right. Oh my gosh, you stop. All right, so let's all rise since we're running over right now, and we'll just sing Let There Be Peace on Earth today, because we're a little over today. But such good music. Thank you so much. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family harmony. Everyone find family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joy and smile. To take each moment and live each moment in peace and harmony. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And so it is. Have a beautiful week. Oh, I have my discussion group at the back of the sanctuary right after this if you want to talk about the talk or you just want to talk about something on your heart. We'll be back there in about 5 minutes.